we're really going to make a big push on the football. And all the people that are involved, taking care of it, going after it, protecting it, all three phases. And so we'll try to push one another to get to that space. To finish the game -3 last week and not to create any takeaways was disappointing. We've certainly shown that we're capable of doing that through the first couple of games, but by no means are we where I think a good ball hawking defense needs to be at. So hopefully we can keep emphasizing that as we're going. So that'll be one of the big topics, as we head into the week. We're still battling hard. We had a big return emphasis up for today. Kick return, punt return, all those work that we're putting into those spaces. And then we're starting to kind of gear, the program up of who's doing what, and then the matchups, who we want to see more of in this week's games in different roles. There'll even be some plays designed for certain people to see how they respond and how they match up. That's one of the things I do love about the preseason is finding, okay, here's some man-to-man ops to see how this guy guards somebody. Here's a shot down the field. Here's the run game to this side. It's very much about evaluating the guys, and so over anything else at this point. So it's a big part of what we're doing, and got a good push for it today with the guys. We had good to see some of the guys back on the field yesterday, and you'll see McGarry some more today and doing some individual work on the normal return to play protocol for him. Still a couple of the same guys that were out yesterday, KZ and Chef, and they're kind of working back, but there's a few of them that won't make it back to the game, but are doing well. So let's open it up and get started.
Coach, in your evaluations, how did Desmond Trufant look? It looked like he had a good game.
Yeah, he did have a good game. You know what? It was really you saw like the quickness to go and break. Some of the big play that he made on the third down, that was a man-to-man play where you saw the speed to go. He broke up another pass. So those are ones that I thought clear illustration, the speed, the ability to match up on different guys. We played him some on the left and the right. You've probably seen that, if you've been following in camp too. So I thought it was a good performance by him, good aggressiveness. He's had a good camp led and really, been disciplined and on it. So, I think his best ball's ahead of him. For this season, it's the best season, came into this space.
He said that he knows that in order for him to get to that top tier, he has to make more big plays.
Right.
Do you see that in his kind of mindset this camp?
I think from this, not just in the training camp, but as he started in the OTAs, and then as he came into camp, he just had a real serious approach about him. It was fatherhood, he's back and going, battling. So it's like, but you sensed where his mindset was, and there's been some good days of competition of John back and forth between the receivers, the receiver coach, and he at times in a real good and competitive way. So no one picked up on that. That was right. He's the ire of True as well. So.
When it comes to a returner, do you have a set plan for the game that you want to see and what you're really looking for?
I'm hoping for the opportunities, because so far we haven't seen a lot in some of the work. We've gotten a lot of work out here, but we haven't had a lot in game. And so especially on the punt side, that's one where if you get your moments to go, you really want to max them out. Still looking at Marcus and OZ. There's a bigger body of work for Kenyon in the NFL especially. So for those two guys specifically, guys like Marcus and OZ, it's like, hey man, let's get them out there and under it and see where they go. So that's really what we're trying to dig into in these next two performances, especially with those two.
That kind of lead into an update on running back, and going back to your earlier observation that you hadn't seen the separation early in camp. How is that going?
Yeah, I think they're a little different, as you're going, but what I do like is the versatility where Free has a little bit of it, all the stuff, the third downs at. So where Kenyon has more third down, out of the backfield, the catching that you see from him is different a little bit than Brian and Q in terms of like those guys downfield have made some big plays and some big runs. I'm not sure what Q's average is in preseason. It doesn't matter, but I do see the 12-yard run, the 10-yard run, and they're able to finish. With Brian, I think you guys have seen it outside as well for his physicality. And so those two have some similarities, and then Ito has unique jump cut ability. I think He and Free have the most violent change of direction, so it's like a nice combination of different guys and how we feature them in different ways. But those are, just some of the ways that they'd be utilized: first down, second down, third down. And in Kenyon and Ito and Brian's case, point two is what are they going to do on fourth down? And so at one time that could be all as short yardages and going for it, as well as covering kicks and punt and returns as well. So.
Coach, is Matt Gano far enough along in his development where you guys would feel comfortable relying on him in an NFL?
He is, and this is a guy that has put it in, and couldn't have been more pleased with his development so far. Not only is he stronger but his communication, his technique, all of where he's at. He's played in this preseason left tackle, right tackle, left guard, everywhere just about the center. And so you have to have pretty good command to do those and know the call. So we've been very encouraged by what we've seen of him so far.
It seems as though you guys are doing that a little bit more this preseason, the versatility, moving guys around. Is that a lesson that you all learned from last year as pertains to depth, maybe having
It is for me,
the best
for sure.
player to plug in somewhere than just this guy is only able to play here?
We've, not just now in camp, but even prior to that put guys in a different space. I'm sure you saw Bleedy at nickel yesterday. We've seen him as a free safety rep. We've had a number of different guys in different roles. Doesn't have to mean the whole offense or the whole defense, but there has to be some things in their role. If they were into that spot, what would we do? And it can kind of be the same thing when you see somebody else move maybe from a guard to a tackle spot. How would you help him if it was a third down here or he's out on the island? But it has been a big part of what we're doing. We design it usually by the play in practice. Okay, let's take a look at player X, Y, or Z at a new space.
Is there a player that you can think back of since your time here that you kind of plugged in, just trying to say, hey, I want to see how they look at this position, that you found that they've actually really succeeded in that position, that maybe changed your mind?
Well, I think, from a conversion standpoint, a few years ago, C.J. Goodwin, where he came in as a receiver and then moved to DB, he's been to that space. The guard to tackle thing has always been that way. And so some of the guys may have played one spot in college, but when they came in, I know you haven't really played nickel, but that's what we're going to do. In this year's class, that's certainly been the case with a guy like Sheffield, where he's played more outside. I say, okay, he has the quickness and the traits to play inside as well, because he can match up on guys. He's not just straight line fast, he's got lateral quickness and change of direction as well. So those would be a few that have that kind of stuff. I would say the flag bearer for it is Ricardo Allen, who came as a cornerback and moved to free safety and, kind of changed the course of, how we want to play and utilize him. So KZ's been one, drafted as a corner, played safety, now we're putting him at nickel. Those are some guys, I think, although they may have started at one space, they've competed and finished at some other ones.
Anything else?
Yeah, Coach, Tyler Davidson, what did he do? How did he look in the game? And what are y'all hoping to get from him?
Yeah, we're excited. We're really excited. And the addition of him and Allen has really felt strong and square inside in the run game. You know how important that can be. So he's exceeded, for me, talking about the Tyler first instinct. Those are the things you don't know until you start to work with somebody. But his strength, his ability to read blocks and play square. Him and Alex, you see battling every day. So he's been a good addition to what we're doing. We'll feature him more on first and second down in all the packages, not just in the base defense. And then Allen's versatility is from D end to D tackle. And the more he's in the system, the more comfortable he's getting. So those two have really, in their own quiet way, may not show up, to you guys or outside, but internally, both those two have been a big factor for us.
Thanks, guys.
All right, you guys.